The rumors are false, Anthony. I'm still alive.
Barely.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's Anthony Melchiori. I'm Glenn Hausman in my home studio in between back-to-back trips to Las Vegas. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, and I renovated my home office, and I'm in my home office.
Nice.
As you can see, there's butlers walking behind me.
What I want to know, Anthony, is how much of a renovation did you have to do to get that flag from that luxury hotel?
Yeah, so much. I had to renovate my office to be Ritz-Carlton.
Too funny. Well, I want to welcome everybody here right now. I encourage all of you to play side games, see how long I'm going to make it, since I am freaking exhausted after last week and being in Las Vegas. Please, yesterday, Monday the 22nd, we put up the most amazing, incredible interview with Todd Avery Lenahan, the President and Chief Creative Officer with Win Design and Development. You want to know what it's like building that new $3.9 billion UAE project? You want to know what the $12 billion proposed New York project is going to be like? Want to know how all these folks keep up with amazing hospitality? Tune into that show right now. And
what an absolute gentleman. Just what an absolute Todd is. And he was coming off some challenges, and so he came. He was tired, but he did it, and just an absolute gentleman. And not only a gentleman on the show, but you really should know someone with the way he treats people around him. And everybody he came in contact with, he was gentle, he was soft, he was caring, and it was absolutely a great interview. And so
plus we did it in the Win Studios, so it looks gorgeous. Please check it out.
So did you go fishing the last 4 days?
So I went to Fish at Sphere for the last 4 nights. If you want to hear a full description of my night one experience, check out last week's Friday night audit. But the reason why I bring it up here is because in the hospitality industry, we're always looking to change. We're also looking to innovate. And Sphere, Anthony, is the most innovative venue that I've ever seen in my entire life. By like every other one is here, and this one is way the heck over.
Well, I'm a big UFC fan, and Dana White, who's critical of everything and very high performing CEO, it blew his mind away. So when he said it was amazing, I would imagine it was amazing. So I'm looking forward to it.
And what artists are going to be able to do with that screen is incredible.
Do you think Billy Joel could ever do that?
I think Billy Joel could do a residency there for sure.
That's the one I would do.
He can do 100 nights at Madison Square Garden every month for the last 6-7 years. You know, there's some time off for COVID. Then he could definitely do Vegas. He's one of those top performers. The next band that's going to be in there, I already know has been confirmed, but since I know off the record it's been confirmed, I can't say who it is, but it's going to be pretty good for people.
Could you write it in comments or send me a text?
I sure can. So that's going to be pretty good. But the Fish doing 4 nights of concerts, one original, each one with 3+ hours of music and original art for behind it was incredible. Plus the 3D sound where the music was like dancing around your head and coming from different directions. When your favorite band out there, people, goes to the Sphere, make a trip. It is worth getting on an airplane to be part of this incredible, innovative venue.
So, and as great as that moment was for you, and it was really, like you said, life-changing moment for you, there was a moment that I wish could have happened for you. We were in the podcast studio, and 10 minutes before we were in the podcast studio to do the podcast, 10 minutes before, who was there?
The boys from Fish were there. In fact, we were supposed to record at 10 a.m., but got bumped to 12 because someone needed the space. Had I known it was them. Oh, well, whatever. Let's move forward because you know what? We were at Win, and Win is 20 years old, but this brand is 40 years old. Ooh, somebody's calling me from Las Vegas right now. We'll take care of that later. But anyway, so what's going on, Anthony, is Win has been there for about 20 years, but one really cool brand in hospitality, which I love, Embassy Suites, has been around for 40 years at this point. And I will tell you, it is one of my favorite brands. It's one of the brands that really got me into understanding what a sweet product was, and you got to love those ready-made omelets. So you want to think we should do this interview with their incredible global brand leader? What do you think?
Yeah, let's go, buddy.
All right, let's do it. Hold on one second. This is all my fault. Sorry very much. Bonnie Campagnuolo, brand leader, Embassy Suites by Hilton. How are you doing there today?
I am doing great. And what I love about what you just talked about is Billy Joel was the first concert I ever saw.
Mine too.
That was in the year that Embassy Suites was established.
No, wait. All right. So we're going back.
Wait. I gotta go first. Okay.
Yeah. Fair enough.
My first concert was Billy Joel. My first hotel I've ever worked in was Embassy Suites.
No way.
In 1986. Now I'm going to test you, Bonnie.
Okay.
Where was the first Embassy Suites go?
The first Embassy Suites was in Kansas City, Overland Park, and it is still in our system today.
And where did Anthony Melchiori's first job as night auditor start?
It 2 years later. It has to be Overland Park. I'm going to guess based on your last name, which is similar to mine in that section of town.
Overland Park, Kansas was my first job. In Overland Park, Kansas, I was a night auditor. Bob Legler was the rooms division manager. I was at Whiteman Air Force Base in the Air Force. I wanted to be in the hotel business, so me and my friend drove up from Whiteman, and I wanted a weekend job. After I had a job that I can leave the base on the weekends. So my friend and I drove up there. And we walked into Overland Park, Kansas, and the gentleman, Bob Legler, as soon as he saw me, first thing he said was, "Love your tie, love your suit." We sat on a bar stool. He interviewed me, and 40 years later, almost, we're still friends. His son's a great, amazing artist, and we talk when we, as a matter of fact, I was there not too long ago, and with Bob having dinner, and we went to the Overland Park Hotel, and the lady behind the front desk, I said, "Can I take a picture behind the front desk?" And she said no, and Bob said, "But I think you may want him to take a picture behind the front desk." And she said, "Double no." So I wasn't able to, because she did her job well. So there's nobody on earth that's a bigger fan of Embassy Suites. Then, do you know what year the first New York City Embassy Suites opened?
I do not know that one, because that would have been in Lower Manhattan, and
Nope.
Okay.
Do you remember the one at Lower Manhattan that's now Conrad? That opened in 2001 or something like that, or 2000.
Exactly right. So the first one was in Times Square.
Right.
And
that's where the theater was, right?
That's the Palace Theater, and that opened in 1990. And who was the first night manager of the Embassy Suites in Times Square?
Would that be you?
That would
Mr.
be me.
Melchiori, would that be you?
So I am there's nobody that talks more about Embassy Suites than I do. So I love it.
I love it. I love to hear that. The thing that's so amazing about this brand is that there are folks like you who have a long history with the brand, have so much love for the brand. It's how they got started in the industry, and folks who got started at front desk, became general manager, moved around the system, moved from Embassy Suites to Embassy Suites, and then into corporate. So we've got multiple folks who've been through Overland Park who are still in the system. One of our QA auditors at one point was general manager in Overland Park. He met his wife in Overland Park. So it's just it's really a heartwarming brand, and I'm the new kid.
Yeah. When did you start as brand leader?
I started as brand leader in July of 2020. So a little bit of a weird time, but the core of who we are is evident, and you can feel it. And but my first memory of the brand was I grew up in Central Florida, and Orlando North, Altamont Springs, is opened in '85. and they just finished renovating. It looks amazing. I was there a couple weeks ago. But it is that space and the team that make it so fantastic. And then you can't argue with a made-to-order omelet and a beverage in the evening.
Well, let me tell you something so important about bringing people in. We're doing a show called Hotel All Stars, introducing people into the industry. And Arlene was my general manager, and I was a young, impressionable GM, desk clerk, night auditor. She brought me to my first local business meeting. She complimented my first suit. She always made sure that I was taken care of. It always treated me with respect at a very young age, and she was really instrumental in bringing me forward in this industry. Always very gentle and very nice to me and very kind. And the first challenge I ever had in this industry was, she said, Anthony, or I think she called me Tony at the time. Everybody called me Tony. She said, could you on Saturday night figure out on Sunday morning how we can do the buffet differently because the lines are too long? So I said, sure. So of course I took that as I'm trying to, cure cancer. I was so serious. And so all I did was set up a separate line with banquet tables, and I solved the problem. But that was my first challenge in the business, to solve a problem. And it gave me so much confidence when she came in and she goes, thank you so much. You did a great job. Again, just a little thing, and really gave me, my confidence for this industry.
I love that.
Yeah. So Bonnie, you took over when Alan Roberts moved over to Hilton Garden Inn, is my guess, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So Alan Roberts was the former leader of it, now moved on, as I said, to Hilton Garden Inn. He's been with the organization for a while. Really took good care of the brand to set you up over there for success, for sure. So what's it like now being steward of such a classic brand on its 40th anniversary? And maybe you could share with us a little bit about why you love this brand.
Sure. The simple story is that as a brand person, having a brand that people know and understand and love is gold, right? It doesn't get any better than a brand that has no direct competitor and really clear differentiating aspects of it. And so other hotels have suites, other hotels have free breakfast, other hotels have free drinks, other hotels provide full service and have great team members. Nobody does it all, except for Embassy Suites, and that's amazing. My father traveled for work as long as I can remember, and was a Hilton Honors guy from the way back. And he still talks about loving to go to a market or having a client that was in a market that had an Embassy Suites, because it was such a big treat for them to be able to stay there. And he would go out of his way, call the general manager, make arrangements for the whole group to be able to stay there. And that was a big deal. So it's amazing to have this legacy. In my current role, we have to be really careful with this magic formula and not goof it up. Yeah. And because people will be mad. And we know if we start to change them, we're not going to do that.
There's two things I want to say. One, when it first came out, 'cause again, I worked at Overland Park, so it was a brand new brand, and the hotel was basically brand new, and reporters were writing your death sentence. It'll never last. It's too expensive. You can't give free breakfast, full American breakfast, and drinks. They're going to die on the vine. It's not going to work. Number one, obviously, you guys proved that wrong. Number two, I thought everybody was going to copy you, and everyone will compete because they're making money. They're able to do it. Their investors like the brand, even though you're giving away free breakfast and drinks. So everyone's going to do it, and no one's really done it. And it's, to me, I haven't really thought about it until just now, but it's unbelievable to me that you don't have a competitor.
I agree, but I also am happy. So let's not.
Well, unfortunately, I just got 10 press releases that all your competitors are coming up with different brands right now. So, what are you gonna do? But you really are in your own kind of space over there, particularly I think in the customer heads. And The reason why this is so important, I want to keep drilling into this, is because the hospitality industry has so many brands out there that a lot of what we understand as brand differentiation has become muddled. And a lot of consumers look at things, in my opinion, in terms of price point, as opposed to the way your amazing franchise teams, and I mean the industry, try selling properties to potential owners. So it must be really cool to have such clear differentiation for your product that really enables you to further connect and move conversations forward with potential customer bases and owners in a easier way than some of the newer emergent brands that some of the other companies are putting out.
Certainly. We don't need to educate most folks about who we are and what we provide and the value that comes with it. So whether it's a group customer who is on a budget and trying to make sure that they take care of everybody's experience from start to finish, or the travel team or the family going on vacation, they're willing to pay a little more because they know what they're going to get. They know that everybody's going to have a suite. You're not hoping for an upgrade. You know what your experience is going to be, and that trust is priceless.
Yeah, and I will tell you, this property here is Anaheim North, and I've stated it before. And in the morning, you really get all of the theme park goers and stuff, and it's really great for families out there, particularly since it kind of chafes me that most hotel rooms are designed for 4 people, and so many families have 3 or more kids. So I love that you're able to take care of your entire family in one room in that way, which in my opinion, I think creates a better value. So even if you're paying a few dollars more for the room, you don't have to get 2 rooms. And you're also getting that upgraded free breakfast instead of feeling like you're just getting a muffin or a banana, you know?
Right. And I have a teenage son. That, breakfast is $25 on a good day because, my man likes his proteins. And so that's a big savings when you add up a few more kids onto that.
Me for the manager's reception at night. And that's a big deal too. Anthony, sorry, go on.
I'm in a hotel. Don't tell anybody. For a fruit cup and a cup of tea, I'm paying $57. Woo! But how many Embassy Suites are there, and what is Embassy Suites look like 4 years from now?
Sure. So we have 267 properties open today. We have a couple more openings this year. In 4 years, we'll surpass the 300 hotel mark. We will add a couple more countries, which is exciting. Right. Dubai will open later this year. We're already in Doha, so starting to make a footprint in the Middle East. And so we'll see some of that. We're not right for every market, for sure. But we'll evolve the magic formula as it needs to with customer preferences. But we're not going to goof up the value proposition that we have, because it is differentiating, like you said, and people have come to know and trust and love that.
Yeah, if I walked into an Embassy Suites and I couldn't get those values that I'm so used to getting, that would be the last time I walked into an Embassy Suites. Right.
And I'll say the brand has really changed in the way that it is presented towards owners, I think, without really removing stuff from the customer. And the most notably are these massive atriums. I remember back in the day when Jim Holthauser was running the brand, and it started to come into markets like New York, you kind of moved away from the massive, atriums that we're seeing here. And incidentally, Jim Holthauser is currently CEO of Go-To Foods, which owns brands like Auntie Anne's and Cinnabon and stuff like that. He was with Hilton something like 25, 30 years or something like that. So big fan of his. So it was great when you move from this model to the smaller atriums, because it really made it more affordable for owners to be able to put that into major cities. For example, you can't have that much space not monetized in New York City, for example.
Right.
But yeah,
well, that's what's happening with the Embassy Suites in Times Square. Remember, we're in the middle of Times Square, and we're doing a podcast. Yeah. And I said, right over my shoulder is and I was like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
And they were right in the middle of taking it down and then rebuilding another brand. What was it? The brand you guys picked there, the Hilton brand.
Is it an addition? No, that's across the street.
Recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, recently they took down the Embassy Suites floor by floor, and then they put a new Hilton brand right on top of the Palace.
And they raised the theater that was in the building,
right?
Like
and they
did
that because the Embassy Suites rooms are so big.
We're too big
in the middle of Times Square. It's too big.
So that is probably what most recently was the DoubleTree. Now is the Tempo.
Yes, it was definitely a DoubleTree.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, that's right. I transitioned from an Embassy to a DoubleTree. It was an Embassy definitely during the Garfield spokesperson or spokescat days.
Right.
For sure.
Don't get me started. I have more stuffed Garfield dolls than anybody.
Well, I'm just thinking, it just got me thinking. There's a new Garfield movie coming out. Maybe there's a chance to rekindle the relationship. Although that was probably with the original owners, Promise Hotels, instead of Hilton, right?
Yes.
That was under the Rose days, where Mr. Rose was running it.
Yeah. Sorry, we're getting so wonky with past history.
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, it's more of an apology to the audience. For us insiders, we kind of get it, but I really love talking about going back this far. So, how are you thinking about the brand now? How are you thinking about appealing to today's customers, and how do you bridge the line between keeping the essence of what people love about it, but meeting the changing needs of travelers today?
So we're building new designs, as you stated, because it's wildly inefficient today to build with a massive atrium. However, space
construction costs have gone up 10% since this call started. You know,
yeah, exactly. So space is luxurious. It's a thing that not everybody might have at home, and so when you travel, even walking into a hotel lobby that is spacious is a hint that you've come to someplace different, and you can exhale and relax regardless of why you're there. And so we maintain that, even though it doesn't necessarily look like what is behind you. And then our classics are being renovated, and our hotel owners are doing an amazing job of updating those spaces so that it feels contemporary without losing, that core of who we are. And, at the end of the day, the staff makes all the difference. Our team members make all the difference. The person who's making that omelet starts your day. And Digital Key is amazing, but that means the omelet chef may be your welcome and maybe the only person that you have a conversation with. And those folks are gold. And if you are lucky enough to stay for more than one night and they remember what you ordered the day before, you have a chat about what you did yesterday, that's just amazing. And then again, our bartenders in the evening know what's going on in town, and can tell you what's going on and who's in house and that kind of stuff.
Bonnie, bless you. You're saying something magical to me, because one of the things that I've been most concerned about as technology starts to really integrate into our lives when we're traveling, the big risk is allowing technology to be in control instead of allowing people to connect with people. And I swear, the last 10 shows that Anthony and I have done in a row together, it's always come back to people saying people serving people. So even if they're going to check in on their own, you have to have those other critical touch points. So I appreciate, number one, for you recognizing that. And number two, how do you think about the owners and the management companies making sure that those people are the ones that are going to be great brand ambassadors?
It is all about the training and continuing to communicate that and making sure that we are recognizing those folks for what they do, because it is critical, and it's not a number on a hiring spreadsheet. Yeah, those folks are core to who we are, and our Make a Difference hospitality. We know we're making a difference in folks' days. That's why they stay with us as long as we do. In Overland Park, we've got a couple of folks on the culinary team who have been there since the opening, which is amazing.
What?
Yes. And
I want to go back and say hello to them.
Yeah, let's go do a show from there or something like that, Anthony. And we could bring them
next
up.
Wednesday.
They'll probably remember you having hair, right?
Next Wednesday, May 1st, is our anniversary. So if you were there during evening reception, we will be having more than normal evening reception that night.
I bet. Well, that'd
You
be.
know, you know what? I would actually fly out for that, but I'm not going to be available. But you know, you said something. You said the omelet chef. The omelet chef's a real job, and it's a real chef. And I know in my neighborhood, I have like 6 bagel stores, and I've tried every egg white omelet in the area, and I always go back to this one place because for some reason they got the magic touch. And if you go into an Embassy Suites and that omelet chef makes the omelet that you really want, there's nothing like it, like you said. And I remember there was one young lady. She must have been in one of the Embassy Suites since the day that hotel opened. And every morning, no matter how many people were in line for their omelet, she was just like she was making it for her newborn baby. Like she like every day, I went down there, she was just happy to see everyone. She was happy to be in her job. And I asked her, I said, why do you like this so much? And she went like this, like, why would I like this? This is like the best job in the world. And it's so true because and we talk about this all the time. Whereas as those touch points are getting away from people because of technology, the ones that you have, the 2 or 3 you have during your stay, got to be like literally 5-star moments. And Hilton has been able to become the #1 company in the world or in the country to work for. So what are you doing different that your competitors and maybe other companies aren't doing? Because you can't become the #1 company in the world to work for in the C-suite or in the executives or in the mid. It's got to be from the ground up. So those are the people who are voting. Those are the people who are saying things. Why? How?
So every management company is going to have benefits and, all of the things that you have to hire people. At the end of the day, certainly, we take care of folks. Hilton assists its franchisees in delivering certain benefits like travel discounts to our team members. But it's about the culture we're creating in the back of house that make people want to come to work, because my boss can be great and the benefits can be fantastic, but I love who I work with is why I want to come to work. That's why I'm, not in my basement on my computer. I'm in the office because I work with great people and I go to hotels and those are great people. It's, that's why they come and that's why they stay. And then they tell their friends or they tell their family members. So we've got multiple hotels where you've got, sometimes you have generations and sometimes you have siblings who are all working at the hotel, which is awesome to see.
So, what I find all the years I've been doing this, almost 40 years, that where we lose is we lose in the mid. We lose in the middle. We take the kid who comes in on Sundays, works late, does everything their boss asks them, and there's like, we're going to promote you, and then we're going to promote you. Oh, and guess what? Now you're an assistant general manager, and now you're a general manager. But as you know, the hotel business it's a business. It's like show business. It's a business. You're running a multi-million, sometimes billion-dollar hotel. And I found in my career that we promote people too early. Now, I think that's accelerated by 100% because of COVID. And we're getting people in mid-level positions, and they're just not capable. They may be capable of pushing.
They're not ready yet, I think is what you're saying.
And showing up. They're capable of showing up and being professional, but they don't know the nuance of human behavior.
Right.
And I don't care how good you are at a spreadsheet. I don't care how good you are at marketing. If you don't have emotional intelligence in this business, you should hang it up. How do you guys do it so well?
So a lot of it is about the culture, and a lot of it is in the training that gets provided, and the way that we trained in the past isn't necessarily how we do it today. But we try to get out into the market, into the hotels, and make sure we're showing and highlighting and using great team members as examples for other team members so that they can model how things go. And as we look at, I have kids, who were in high school during COVID. We need to make sure we're modeling those things because they lost out on some face-to-face time. and what service looks like, because they do everything through a phone. And so in our face-to-face business, in our in-person business, we need to make sure we're modeling that and giving them opportunities to practice that. And so a lot of the training that we
and a lot of it's not only, I just did a little social media thing, and it said it's not who you, it's not what you know, it's who you are. And like, there's a young lady running around this lobby. She's a hostess, and I guarantee you she was trained, but her family trained her, because she is the most genuine. If I had a job for her, I'd literally go get her and give her a job. She is like, there's not a moment. Just now she brought me tea. You know, I paid my bill already, and she brought me another pot of tea. And she's just so genuine and so nice, and I'll remember her just because of her smile, and not just at me, but everybody. And that's what it's about. And that's it's easy to get those people, and it's hard to get those people in the door. But when you get them, a bad manager could destroy it. So I know that Hilton, being #1 company, not hospitality company, to work for, I mean, they're really building up their team, because you can't do it any other. You can't fake that. You can't fake being #1.
Right. I just want to throw in there that Anthony was not being hyperbolic. Really, the #1 best company to work for, as per Forbes. They just announced it a couple of weeks back. Number of years in a row, you're getting this award as a company. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Bonnie, you know what I'm curious about? We've been talking a whole lot about customer service stuff, but let's talk about owners for a second. What are owners looking for from you? Why should they invest in Embassy Suites? And I don't mean that pejoratively. I just mean that your company's been doing such a great job of opening up so many new brands that are kind of in the hospitality zeitgeist right now, that it's got to be tough for you to compete for ownership mindset and for their dollars, instead of them building, I don't know, 4 smaller select service hotels. It's a huge investment for this. So how does that work? My guess is probably has something to do with convention centers and, REITs and all that kind of stuff. But where are you thinking in terms of development?
And real quick, Glenn, you can't use pejorative and zeitgeist in the same sentence. All right.
Crap. Next time I'll do better. At least I'll put a semicolon in the middle before doing it. So, Bonnie, how are you getting over that 300 mark practically? What are owners thinking about, and how are you going to see more success like that in the future?
So owners love our 7-night-a-week performance. It's not just a business hotel. It's not just a leisure hotel.
Yep.
So they're seeing strong market share 7 nights a week, and GOP opportunity is solid. And some of that is driven by meetings and event space, catering that comes with it, full service restaurants and bars. So the opportunity for profit, there's multiple places within the hotel. You'll see hotels being built in conjunction with cities for the meeting space in that city. You think about Jonesboro, Arkansas. We have a fantastic Embassy Suites there. It's on the campus of University of Northwest Arkansas, and it is the conference space for the city.
Yes. Go. Please continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's why owners like to build us, because they know that they can build. They have that profitability built in. It's a full service hotel with a slightly skinnier service model, staffing model. So it's an efficient full service brand for them to build. And we're not right for every market, for sure.
Correct.
You need to be able to, that there needs to be those demand drivers in the market. But we are really excited about some of the properties that we have in the pipeline. We're seeing nice, within the Smoky Mountains. We just opened Asheville and Gatlinburg. We've got Pigeon Forge will open early 2025. And then our beach properties, we started last year with 3 new beach properties: Virginia Beach, Aruba, and Panama City Beach.
Wow.
We've got Gulf Shores in Alabama under construction now. And that joins properties like Deerfield Beach in Florida, newly renovated, St. Augustine Beach that opened in 2018. So just, some really nice new properties where people are excited to come for business, leisure, group, travel, sports teams, etc.
Yeah, Anthony.
You said something. It reminded me. You may be the first. And we're only allowed to say this word once a month on our podcast. You may be the first bleisure hotel company before bleisure was a thing.
Dude, that was hello. All right, now you got to put money in the bleisure jar. Oh, yes. Well. Sorry,
well, and, when you have a suite, you can work from there without a bed in the background. And when we started all of this Zoom meetings, we didn't have the fuzz out and the virtual background and all of that. So you've got a hotel bed behind you, is not great. So we have a suite, we have a parlor. You can have your meeting in there and sleep someplace else. Or what if both members of a couple are working from wherever they are? Mm-hmm. You don't have to be back to back on phone calls in the same space. So we're seeing that happen as well.
So how did the brand do during COVID compared to other brands?
So there was certainly, a rough patch, and market by market was very different based on how the cities were doing. Certainly our warmer markets, our resort properties did very well. Youth travel sports came back.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of that type of business. Your typical group evolved, and now we're getting back to what our normal business mix looks like.
That's really important going forward for sure. But it's interesting to see how that business side is really starting to pick up a lot more and continuing to be very helpful for sure. So what are you most excited about going forward, Bonnie? Because I've got something that I'm going to challenge you to. So I want to hear what you're most excited about.
So I'm excited about certainly our new openings and our new locations because I get a preview, and they're gorgeous. They're in fantastic locations. Dubai is going to be amazing.
I can't imagine. That'll be great.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous tower in Business Bay.
I'm sure it'll be they'll turn it into like some sort of 6-star kind of embassy.
Well, that tends to happen there.
I know.
A view of the Burj Khalifa. So
exactly.
You're watching, the fireworks right off.
Caviar crusted omelet for you.
Exactly. But I'm also excited about the renovations that have happened and are happening to our existing estate, because the thing that people love about us is still there, and we're just adding the modern touches and what we need in hotel rooms today. Mm-hmm. Surfaces for everybody's phones and things to be charging, and we're all looking for more light. I'm at an age where the more light, I need all the light at all times of day, and then no light when it's time to sleep. So I'm excited about the product to come, and our team members are the core, and that's what's solid and doesn't evolve. You can trust that those folks are there doing what Embassy Suites does.
So what I'd like to do is I want to challenge you to a contest here. When Alan was in charge, I challenged him to a made-to-order omelet competition over there. So it's pretty serious stuff. We went head to head. Right. The chef taught us how to make an omelet. Then we went ahead and did that. Now, unfortunately, I believe Alan cheated because he stocked the judging panel with Embassy Suites employees. So I was not victorious, and I've been hurt about that for a number of years. And I'd like to make a comeback and challenge you to the next omelet cook-off that maybe we could get together at some point.
I'm game if you want an omelet grudge match.
Yeah, I do because I've got.
All right, I'm game.
Let's try to figure that out at some time when we're together. I think that'd be a real hoot to do. Anthony, I know we got to get going now that I've done the important part of this conversation is try to.
You've been waiting to say that.
Yeah. Any final questions or words for Bonnie today?
No, it's just full circle to be able to have you as a brand leader talking to me 40 years when I was just a kid walking into that hotel wanting direction. And to be here is kind of mind-blowing. So thank you.
I love that. And that's what I love about this brand. And I know, Glenn, you've talked to Talene, who got her start with the Embassy Suites brand. Now she's my counterpart on Home 2. Mm-hmm. And there's so many of those stories around this company, which is amazing. Well, and internally, we'll be highlighting those folks. We've been interviewing them and getting their stories. So that's what.
So who better than Anthony Melchior, the Hotel Impossible guy, to be the brand spokesperson? Oh my God.
It's a great
I'll
idea.
have my marketing people give you a call and get a contract.
I don't know if you can compete with Garfield though, Anthony. That's pretty tough.
They both like lasagna, I bet.
Look at those. Did you see those ears? Look at that ear. Those ears could be a character.
That's true. He is Italian, so he definitely.
They actually modeled my ears for Mickey Mouse. They took my ears, same as Mickey Mouse.
Wow, so, that's pretty impressive, right there.
Thank you.
Bonnie, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And I hope we get to see you out on the road soon enough. And look out, I'll be in touch with your people and let's see if we could, make this omelet thing.
Absolutely. We will find a kitchen setup and do that.
Yeah. Last time we did it at one near the lodging conference in Phoenix. So you could always consider like if you're going to be in an event, I come in early or we stay late or something. But anyway, that's logistics off screen. Bonnie, you're an amazing person. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Anthony, that was fun. I know we need to get going, but I'll let you have a final thought if you'd like.
No, it's just like I said, it's unbelievable. I mean, that brand's been around for 40 years. I was there at the beginning and I'm still kicking. And Bonnie, that she they're going to celebrate 40 years on May 1st. And that there's still people in that kitchen from the day it opened.
Yep.
I mean, it tells you what this business is about. So it was just fun. And thank you for bringing her on because I didn't expect it and it was fun.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing about doing the show. We get to meet so many cool people. Hey, if you want to watch that omelet making video, I put it into the comment section. Carl Slicer says, "Hey, we really miss Anthony's shows. But then, haven't you seen the first episode of Hotel All Stars available on YouTube right now?" Anthony, I know another episode's about to drop, right?
Yes, at the break. Oh, I'm not supposed to say it, but the Breakers Hotel in Florida, and it'll be we've just on YouTube we have over 50,000 views.
Nice.
It takes 22 minutes of your life, so go please watch it. And more importantly, if you're in the hotel business, go recruit somebody into our business. That's what this is about. This is not about Anthony doing a new show. This is about recruiting people into our industry. Period. End of story. Hard stop.
Beautiful. And while you're out there recruiting for our industry, why not educate yourself in our business too? Follow us wherever you get your podcast. Just type in "no vacancy" and you will be able to subscribe. Get them. And if you're on audio, why not watch us? Watch us on Facebook. Watch us on LinkedIn. Watch us on YouTube. And of course, all shows are at novacancynews.com. And I'm happy to say we're gonna have a brand new, rebuilt from scratch website for novacancynews.com debuting hopefully next week. I've been thinking it's going to debut next week now for 2 months. So that's pretty much how tech is, right?
And outside of our audience being the first to know, I'm the second to know.
Yeah. Awesome, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on, Ed.
Be kind to yourself.
See you all tomorrow. And please, everyone hanging out backstage,